Hi, my name is Cheryl Karpeichik. I'm the head gardener here at White Flower Farm. Today we're going to talk about dahlias. Each summer here at the farm we trial 10 to 12 varieties of dahlias that are new to us. We plant the plants, and throughout the summer we evaluate their garden performance, the flower color, and flower form. We do this trialing process in order to provide for our customer a diverse selection of dahlias from which to choose. Perhaps the most familiar type is the decorative flower form. This pretty yellow one is called Trudy's Favorite. This maroon one is called Karma Chalk. And this pretty pink one is called Ecstasy. Many of the decorative type flower forms are double and have many petals that are arranged in a neat fashion. As you can see, these blossoms are about 3 inches across, which is a typical size for a decorative dahlia. But the decorative forms also include much larger flowers. This is an example of an informal decorative. It's called Bella Barmera, and you can see it's about 8 inches across. And it has a little bit more of a free form to it than the decoratives that we looked at before. Many people are familiar with what we call dinner plate dahlias, and they also are decorative forms of dahlias. Kelvin Floodlight is this beautiful flower that's behind me, and you can see it's quite large, at least 10 inches across. So just within the decorative forms of dahlias you have already quite an array of different flowers. Here are a few more dahlia forms which I'd like to share with you. This is called the ball form. This variety is called Franz Kafka. The cactus form. This is Black Wizard. You can see the petals have sort of a point on them. That's why they give them the cactus description. This is Bishop of Llandaff, which is a semi-double anemone form. And perhaps the most interesting in our trials this season is a variety called Honka, and it is classified as an orchid type dahlia. It's pretty interesting. This is what a bare root dahlia tuber looks like. When you receive your tuber in the mail and you're getting ready to plant it, examine the tuber. You need to figure out which end is the top end. Examine the tuber and you'll see last year's old stalk. As soon as the soil is warm enough in your area to work, you can plant this bare root tuber right directly into the garden. What you do is just dig a hole large enough to accommodate the size of the tuber. So place your tuber in the hole, cover it up, and in about 4 weeks, that's when your dahlia will start to bloom in the garden. Here at the nursery, I actually start my tubers ahead of time indoors. By starting your plant ahead of time indoors, you're able to put a plant out into the garden where if you had planted bare root in the soil, you would have just a bare spot for about a month. Dahlias range in height from 12 inches to 4 feet or taller. It's important to stake plants that get to be at least 2.5 or 3 feet tall. As the plants grow and start to set bud and start to bloom, the plants become a little bit top heavy. Rain and wind and gravity can wreak havoc on your dahlia plant, knocking the stems over and even breaking them off. There are many different ways to stake your dahlia. One simple solution is using a bamboo cane and some twine. So I place the cane sort of behind the dahlia plant. And I'm going to be pushing the stake into the ground. Push the stake in so the stake is really secure in the ground. Remember though, there's a tuber down there, so you want to just make sure you're pushing your stake into the earth, not through your tuber. I use this green twine. And I tie each stem of the plant to that stake. It's a simple method of tying. I go around the stem, make a cross over of the strings, go behind the stake, and try to tie a knot back there. I will continue to tie in the stems of the plant, securing all the stems to this central stake. Sometimes the plant is going to be so large you'll have to use more than one cane. As the flowers go by, it's important to come and cut them off. With dahlias, the more that you deadhead, the more flowers that the plant produces. Also, cutting off the spent flowers improves the overall look of your plant. Dahlias can add a splash of color into your garden all summer long and even into early fall. The dahlias here seem to really hit their stride in late August into September. Seeing a dahlia in full bloom can really take your breath away. It's just simply beautiful.